So let's talk about this for a second, okay? And then I'll go back to the cards, I promise. So let's talk about how this is all going to affect each sign. I'm doing a lot tonight, I guess. So we're already up, and I think I missed. I think we're starting with Libra, right? So Libra, let's talk about it for a second. I believe, Libra, that you're going to be affected in the area of your relationships, because Aries, the moon, is going to be in your relationships. And Libra, you will have probably the upper hand because the sun will be with you wherever you are. But just know that Aries, the moon, will be in your 7th house. So your partner is going to feel affected. Your partner might be emotional or tearful or just overly emotional. I would be as gentle as I could with my partner that day. You might find that your partner, Libra, might suddenly explode, for come at you with something like, I know you've been cheating, or something. Just be aware of that. I mean, unless they're in astrology, that might happen. And if it happens, you have to prepare yourself for that. Know that it's a transit. Don't go and blow your relationship because a full moon opposes your sun in the 7th house for a day or 2 weeks. Okay, so just want to warn you, Libra, I believe that's how it will affect you. Okay. Much love and light to you, and good luck with that. So I will also next do Taurus, right? No, excuse me. I'll do Scorpio. So Scorpio, Aries full moon is going to be, let's see, in your 12th house. If I'm not mistaken. Hold on. No, Scorpio is here. You got Libra in your 12th house. And so you've got Aries in your 6th. Aries is going to be in your 6th house, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So I think this is going to affect Scorpios in the area of work, just like the reading I just did. Whoa! I love tarot. Tarot doesn't have nothing to really, in my opinion. But my astrology message is the same as the tarot message, which is this is all about work and career, Scorpio. This is your month to concentrate on your work and career. Maybe co-workers might be an issue. Maybe you have to strategize or come up with new things. You might sense that you are head and shoulders over your competition in your career, because it will feel like there's competition about your career because Aries is there. So amazing that is the case. So I just thought I would throw that out there. And this will be a month where, you might find that you do have to compete in work. At least over the next couple of weeks. So be aware of that. The opposite would be the Libra in your 12th house. And with Libra in your 12th house, I also want you to be conscious of overdoing it when it comes to foods and rich sauces and meats and things that could really affect your heart or your body. Take care of yourself when the emphasis is in your 6th house of health. So for the next 2 weeks, Scorpio, really pay attention to your health, pay attention to your work, and, try not to be overly aggressive at work either, but you don't worry about competition. You're going to be fine. Okay. Much love and light to you, Scorpio. So for Sagittarius, let's look at where it would affect Saggy. So Sag, it would be affecting you. Let's see here, because I didn't even your 5th house. Yeah, this is going to be about love for you, Sagittarius. This is all about love and romance, I believe. You're going to be dealing with areas that have to do with love and romance. It's all going to, and maybe children. I mean, some people might be dealing with issues that deal with children. But I think it may be about love and romance. It could be about friends. Because, you know, Libra is going to be in your 11th house, right? So with Libra in your 11th, it may be that you have really pleasant, you know, your friendships are going great, or at least pleasantly. You might be getting along or doing well in groups and associations and clubs and things like that. So that could be part of it. You might be finding that your hopes and dreams and wishes are coming to fruition and everyone loves that. You might be lucky. I mean, the 5th house is luck. So Sag, if you saw what I said to people who have this happening in their 5th house, well, Sag, that would be you at this point. This is luck. And so go play the lotto. Go look at my videos where I talk about where this hunter's moon, how it affects the houses. Go look up your Sag. It's the 5th house. And then, you know, it could be romance, could be love, could be, like I said, children, and it could be entrepreneurial things. It could be that you are having, doing things maybe like online or social media to promote, say, entrepreneurial pursuit that you're doing or something of that nature. I just sense that. Okay, so good luck, Sag, with this. I really do believe this is going to be positive for you when it comes to romance and love. I do. So next is Capricorn. And for Capricorn, this is happening down in your 4th house. And, you know, the funny thing about the 4th house, it's actually the natural house of Cancer, which is opposite Capricorn. And with Capricorns in the 4th house is an emotional Capricorn. You know, Capricorns don't like to be that emotional. They really don't. I do think that it might just come out that a lot of Capricorns have to deal with issues happening around their homes. So it might be like you might find that there's a lot of repairs happening at your home, or you might have something happen in your home, or you might just be gathering food like a gatherer for winter. I don't know. It could be that you have family or more company in your home. Just know the emphasis, though, for you, Capricorn, is in your home. And I think it's important because the opposite, as I said, is Cancer, and you know, for you, and Cancer is the natural ruler of the home. But having this Aries in your home, it's going to maybe make your home life a little bit Aries in the 4th house is combative, a little arguments. It could just be I mean, be careful of fire, but you know, Aries in the 4th house, it don't belong there. I'm just saying, it doesn't like being there. And I just want you to be aware of that, Cap, that you know, between the 4th house and the 10th house, because this is going to put Libra in your 10th house. So you know, the urge, I think, for some Caps, because the sun is there, is to put their emphasis in the work or the career sector. But I think with this Aries in the 4th house, you know, put some watch around your home. Make sure there's no opportunity for things like fires and things like that. You know, I would just, and also arguments. Be careful of that. Okay. So I'm going to be moving on now to Aquarius. Aquarius, This is falling in your third house of communication. And, you know, when the full moon is in the third house in Aries, which makes you probably more, you're going to want to speak out more. You're going to want to be more gregarious, I'm sure, and talk more and stuff of that nature. And, you know, just be aware. I mean, we're talking Aries. So be sure that when you're talking, it's not overly aggressive or, you know, anything like that. I think you're actually just going to be able to come up with new ideas. I think you're going to have a lot of new creative ideas. You're able to start new things with the ideas, because this is like a fire starter, a pioneer. Aries is a beginner. They start new things. They're creative in that way. And so I think you might be starting new things in the area of where it deals with communication. It could be something in your community, like something in your neighborhood. You might even get a new car. I want you to be careful though about the car, because it's Aries, which makes me think about it could be something to do with combustion. Just be cautious about cars. I wouldn't buy a car. I would wait until after. Okay. Much love and light to you, Capricorn, or excuse me, Aquarius. So now I'm moving on to the sign of Pisces. Pisces, this is happening in your second house. And the thing about that, Pisces, is that the second house is money and Aries is there. So it could come out in two ways. It could make you like a pioneer, or it could make you like courageous when it comes to money. It could just make you angry when it comes to money, because Aries is ruled by Mars. And so if something happens out of the blue and it affects your money, I can see where, I mean, because we're talking a moon, right? So I can see where you can get emotional over what is happening with the money. I keep your equilibrium about you when it comes to the money, because I can see some of y'all like losing it over the money. I mean, because just think, when Aries is in your second house with the moon, the sun is in Libra in your eighth house, all confused and ambivalent. So there could be a real like not knowing what's going on with your money over the next couple of weeks. Be aware of that. Keep a good eye on your money. Know where your money is at all times, and you know, just protect your assets. So next I'm going to talk to Aries. Aries, this is happening in your first house. Okay, Aries, this is happening to you. And it tells me that you could just end up being a very emotional person. Like this is a very emotional couple of 2 weeks coming up. I want you to know that, Aries, you might feel very emotional about something. And so, you know, just be aware of it. If you feel that, don't beat yourself up. It's okay. It's part of it. You might just feel the ebb and flow of how the moon is. Think of the moon like this. It flows like that. It's the moon, right? Just think of the water like the ocean waves. That's the way I feel of the moon's influence. The moon's influence on us flows like this, like the ocean waves. And then when it's full or aggressive, it's like whoosh, whoosh. So it takes us to highs and then it takes us to lows. And that's why a lot of people go crazy during full moons, just so that you know. But, you know, it does affect the ocean flow. And I believe it affects our flow in the same way. So be aware of that, Aries, that you may be feeling that on a personal level. Also, with the sun being in Libra in your seventh, there could be an emphasis in partnerships as well. And I'm hoping that if you're lucky enough to have a Libra partner, they'll be hopefully very soothing and calming for you right now, because you know they're got the sun there and they're naturally ruled by Venus. They might be able to help calm you down. You, however, might be overly aggressive. So I want you to be aware of that and watch out for over aggressive behavior. No one wants to deal with over aggressive behavior, just saying. So next we're going to move on to Taurus. And Taurus, this is happening in your 12th house. I'm going to take a sip before I tell you what I'm going to tell you. Hold on. Okay, so Taurus, I'll pick up my crystal. Okay, Taurus, the thing is, the 12th house is the house of self-undoing. I've said it before, I'll say it again. It's Taurus is doing something that is not to their benefit, whatever it is. I don't know what it is, but whatever it is, it's not to your benefit in some way. I can tell you how I think it might come out. I mean, it's the moon, right? It's Aries, right? So it could be aggressive. Even if you don't express it outwardly, it could be like this quiet aggressiveness that's eating you away on the inside. Or you might be not that aggressive on the inside because of this, or, you know, it's imploding, in other words, because it needs to get out. It's a moon. And you might be withholding that passionate response. I sense there is a need for a passionate response, but you might not let it out because it's in the 12th house. So it may escape through the sun, which is in the 6th house in Libra. And that is the other sign that is ruled by Venus. And maybe that's why the 12th house is being emphasized, because Taurus, if you overeat, overindulge, eat too many goodies or too many fats or things that weigh you down or are not good for your body, it's like self-sabotage. It's self-undoing. So be aware that this is kind of what it could be. It could also be like doing drugs, drinking too much, sexual affairs. It's something that leads to your undoing, but if you step back, you would know it's not good for you. So, you know, take that time to do that and, you know, do what's good for you, Taurus. Okay, what's good for you. Also, I'm just thinking that it's a moon, right? And it's full and it's Aries. So I don't want you guys, Tauruses, to beat yourself up, especially if you find that you're depressed or that you're thinking really bad thoughts, or because it's internal. And I don't want you turning that aggression on yourself. That's what I'm afraid of for some Tauruses. Don't turn that aggression on you. It's not a good idea. Don't do that, okay? I'm wishing you all the best, Taurus, and that you make it through this 12th house experience with very little, if any, anything affecting you over the next 2 weeks. Okay, much love and light to you. So next is for the sign of Gemini. And for Gemini, this is occurring in your 11th house. Gems, this is actually a good house, I think, because it's the house of hopes and dreams and wishes and aspirations and all the things you really aspire to do. It's what you really want to do, even if you're not doing it. And I think that when the moon is full in this house, it's going to illuminate those things that you want to do. Maybe you'll actually go out on a limb and do these things over the next 2 weeks. It could also deal with groups, clubs, associations, organizations. You might find that you're dealing with more of them. You might find that you're on social media more, like Facebook and Instagram and stuff like that. So it could come out in that way, Gemini. But I would say for gems, this is going to affect, I think, your gregariousness. I mean, gems are naturally gregarious anyway. So I think you might make new friends. I do. One of the things I want to say is don't be careful of being over aggressive or starting fights with friends. That Aries, well, Mars is in Aries, right? And the full moon is in Aries. And this is your 11th house. So this full moon and Mars in Aries, it may make you feel like you want to do something or be a certain way with your friends or with people, like the other people. Just be aware that you know that this is a transit. It's not permanent. You might feel like you want to you might get in an argument with a friend, and then you take it to or want it to be permanent, and it's not. If a friend says or does something to you during this time, just know it's a full moon, and go and address it 2 weeks later, okay, after the 16th of October. You'll be in a whole different place after the 16th of October. I really know that. Because we've got a moon coming up in Taurus. So I know that for sure. So Geminis are going to be affected by that. But Gems, the other thing is that the Libra sun is going to be in your 5th house. Some of you guys might be dealing with love. This could be about romance. It could be children. But I would think with Libra in the 5th house, I think some Geminis are going to at least be doing some flirtations, if not out and out love. So let's move on to the sign of Cancer. Cancer, this is going to be happening in your 10th house. And you know, whenever the moon is full in the 10th house, I'm like, you're having a full moon career experience. It could just be your reputation. Let me tell you something. What you don't want is to get a reputation for being a hothead when the moon is full in Aries in your 10th house. You might be the hothead at your job or your, whatever. Watch out for that, because it's going to be like the image you're giving off. Like, it's the way people are going to see you on the outside. So be sure that you're not coming off over aggressive in whatever it is that you're doing, because it might appear to be that you are over aggressive, and it's just a transit. It's just a transit. And so, be aware of that, because I do think that sometimes people think that what's happening during the transit is going to affect them after the 2 weeks are over, because 2 weeks can seem insufferably long when you're going through a bad experience. So just know that, if something happens in your career, let's say there's a fight, or your boss is aggressive toward you, or a customer gets aggressive toward you, or you suddenly have, like, I don't know, people like saying you did something and you didn't, or whatever. It's usually because Mars is wherever this moon is, right there. Mars is in Aries. So Mars, Aries in the 10th house is aggressiveness in the 10th house. That aggressiveness could be coming from you, or could be coming towards you. So what I want you to do is to prepare for that. Libra is down in the 4th house. It is also not somewhere it likes to be. And so even though it's diplomatic, there may be some partnership issues at home, and those could be affecting your work life. So that is another way that it could also come out and play out in your life. Next, I'm going to move on to the sign of Leo. And Leo, this is happening in your 9th house. The 9th house is travel. The 9th house is education. The 9th house is religion. The 9th house is legal things. And that brings me to the next thing I'm going to say. Some Leos may be overly involved in the political thing going on right now, or in politics, or legalities, or government, or policing, or any of those issues. And Leo, just know that with Mars full in that house for you, it's not your job to, fight the world because of your belief systems. Just know whatever your beliefs are, know that they're your beliefs, but there's no need to go to battle. I just sense some Leos might be going to battle over their beliefs, literally going to battle, like, and I don't think that's necessary, but you might believe it is. So you may feel emotional over protecting your dogma, your basic belief system, your basic philosophy on everything. And you might actually experience that, Leo. So be aware of that, okay? And the opposite would be communication with Libra down in the 3rd house. I think you'll be very, very affable in that way, very, as I like to say, very simpatico. And so people, I think they'll listen to you, because you'll be speaking in a nice way, in a pleasant way, that people want to listen and hear what it is you have to say. So, good luck to you in that respect as well. And remember, no protesting, no burning of buildings, Aries in the ninth house, full moon. None of that, Leo, okay? None of that. So next I'm going to move on to the sign of Virgo. Virgo, this is happening in your 8th house. And it's a full moon. And it's in Aries. Now, here's the funny thing. The full moon can actually come out in several ways. The full moon in the 8th house could be like your emotional. Okay, it's always emotion because we're talking about a full moon. So we're talking about where the emotion's going to be. So you are going to be emotional over money that you either give to other people or that other people give to you. Maybe you'll get maybe you'll get a windfall and you'll be emotional over that. Maybe something will happen where you'll get lots of money and you're going to celebrate in an emotional way. I don't know why I sense that, but when the moon is full in Aries in the 8th house, well, the Libra sun, the beautiful, glorious Libra sun is going to be in the 2nd house, the natural house that is ruled by Venus. And Libra is ruled by Venus. I sense you're going to have a lot of things like toys, money. I sense you're going to get the money. I don't know why. So over the next 2 weeks, from the 1st to the 15th or whatever of October, expect money. I do think so. You might feel that you have to be over aggressive in getting money from others though. Like you might have to go into like collection mode. And maybe that's what that full moon in Aries on the 1st is. Perhaps you are going to go into collection mode to get your money if you haven't already done so. So, let's hope that works out in a positive way for you, Virgo, okay? Good luck with that. So let's move on to Libra, our last sign. I just wanted to do these really quickly. And like I said, I'll make a video and separate this out from the card readings. But Libra, this is where it affects you. Libra, it's going to be happening in your 7th house. You might have, and this bothers me only because I know that Libra, and I just did their reading, and it is all about partnership, isn't it, Libra? It's all about your partner. Libras are very partner oriented. They're other oriented. They naturally gravitate toward partnerships, even if they're not permanent. It's a natural inclination to do it. And when you have Mars and Aries full moon in the 7th house, because Mars is also in Aries, I keep saying that, retrograding. So yeah, be careful of battles, like arguments. All of a sudden your partner might come at you with the craziest argument, and you might be like, what? I'm just minding my business, and your partner's like going ballistic, and you're like, stay level, keep your equilibrium, okay? Don't let someone take you out. Don't let them take you out, okay? Because they will take you out of your game, especially with partnerships. And same thing I said, I think, to Aries, don't make a permanent decision about a love or partnership situation when the moon is full in Aries and it influences those 2 weeks, because 2 weeks later, you're going to regret that. You're going to be like, what did I do? It's the person I love with all my life. What have I done? So don't make a permanent decision. It's not the time to do it. It's a full moon. Your emotions are too high. Especially, or theirs. So even if they say, I hate you, you suck, I can't stand the ground you walk on. If a cat bit you a dog bit you on the butt, I wouldn't care. 2 weeks later, they're going to be like, I love you so much, please. I didn't mean it, baby. Yeah, that. So don't, be careful not to make crazy decisions, because you you love somebody, then it's a full moon. It's just a full moon. And there's nothing we can do about that. Okay? Okay. So I feel better now that I got these done. because I